Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for this morning. So we had another banking disaster yesterday, which was the major result of the fall, and then obviously we've got the Feds tonight, well tonight for us here in the European time zones, and we also have non-farm payrolls on Friday. So those are the catalysts that we're waiting for at the moment. We're back in this zone. You can see there, I mean, if we just go to a daily, you'll see lots of tails buying here. Same thing happened yesterday. So this could be the start of something, but we'd have to drop below the lows of last month, which is down here, and bump our head above that before you can be convinced that you're going to be falling any further. So right now, logic is sound. That is the top. We're going to need some big event to break through that area of 34,170. This is an area of support. We are in an uptrend for all intents and purposes on the daily. We're above the moving averages, and as you go through the higher time frames, you have the same message. You're in an uptrend. You got a confirmation last week. You got a second confirmation now with an inside bar. So if we drop down to the 3-hour, you can see we're just below. We're just on the 155, so there's no real fear here. Oscillators are starting to group to the downside and cross over. There is a little bit of structure here, which I would be paying attention to, and I'm going to put both levels in, and that would be there. You can see quite a few tails in here. So, and we have this morning's gap in this situation. So this gap here, or these tails to the left here, and the gap would be my area to watch. That's 33,677. Bear in mind, we have the Feds, so I don't think anything's going to happen until the Feds come out. If anything, probably a meander to the downside. Now, I'm reluctant to jump in short at the moment. I'm looking for opportunities for this to continue, but obviously we will wait for the Feds before we make any rash decisions. So nothing really we can add here on the hour. So if we just drop down to the 15-minute, and you can see yesterday, I mean, it's always good for hindsight. So there was the 15-minute structure over there, and you can see we had the crossover, the moving averages. So on the 15-minute, you should be already looking at opportunities to short, and you can see we had a bit of diversions brewing here. You can see how the oscillators were going lower and price was going higher. And then you got onto the level, not a clean entry, but anyway, an entry, bit engulfing bar, so well worth jumping in there, stop up there, 70-point stop loss, and look what your reward would have been, 500 odd points. It would have been difficult to ascertain what was happening, but the minute you drop below the 155, and started bouncing your head on the 155, you could have put stop to entry and waited to see what's going to transpire. Anyway, for today, nothing really. There's one more level, sorry, right over there. So you can see where I'm picking that up, and one above it, which is probably also important there. Right, so if there is going to be a rejection, it's going to be off this area here, 33,874 or 33,832. And I say if there is going to be a rejection. Obviously, looking at the oscillators and below the moving averages, I suspect that is true. But personally, I think you're just going to run sideways until the Fed's decision, and then you're going to see a spike up, spike down, and it's probably going to be captured by those two areas there. Not that I'd want to be jumping in during a rates decision. So anyway, I'm sitting on the side with the Dow Jones at the moment. Those are the areas to pay attention to. This area down here is also very important, and that is 33,514. And if we get some kind of a surprise on the rates hike, if you just look to the left on the 8-hour, any one of these tails here will offer some support. And this is a massive area. I'm going to drop it there. It's about as wide as I can make it. This is a massive area of support. So, coming all the way down to 33,283, that just reinforces another massive range that we have, okay, in an uptrend. So be very careful. I don't think I want to be risking my money here today. We'll wait for the Feds to finish their song and dance, and then we'll have a look to see what opportunities there are. But get your levels in. You never know. It might be a really big surprise on the rates, which would then have a pretty strong run. But there is still a bit of a fear on the banking crisis at the moment, even though some of the larger banks are trying to tell us that the crisis is over. Anyway, that's kind of my view for today. Cautious, not going to be in it until after the Feds. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.